Molly,
Hey, Priya.
let's get you.
Hey, hello, how are you?
You're doing good.
My question is Ankh related. I understand that when we use the purva, it is not so much used for blessing, but it's used more as a disintegrator. But can Ankh be used as both? When I'm blessing the earth, can I instruct that this person's or be purified of this
Well,
vices?
the thing that can you hand me an Ankh?
Uh-huh.
So what she's asking about is we have mystical practices that we're doing. Hold on just a second. No. Okay. So so we have mystical practices that we do instead of using oils, we use tools. And so when you're doing healing, like when you point this down, it has a clearing effect on the auric program. And so you can just point it down for one, but a deeper practice is to do the 4 quadrants of the aura, right? Do the left side, front, right, and then back, like head to toe, right? Now, one thing that you can do, you're trying to do this for another person or for
Yes,
yourself?
for somebody else.
Person. Trying to think of how that would work. Well, anyway, how about I'll just talk this through and we'll figure it out as we go. So if you hold, like, you know, a lot of times you hold the Ankh like this when you're doing the practice, right? But there's another version where you hold it, you know, the 3 fingers like that. And so you're basically holding the Ankh like just by the base, right? So the practice is that you look through the hole, you know, you look through this, and you stay very, very one pointed. You stay focused on whatever it is. It's usually used more for thought forms than it is used just for general healing. Like if you're trying to break down a thought form, like say the person, I don't know, doesn't feel good about themselves, right? So you would have them think of the negative image of themselves, or if they have negative feelings towards themselves, they would look at it through the Ankh, right? You just keep focusing, 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 focusing. And then at some point, you'd close your eyes. And then you'd bring it back up, focus it, focus it, focus it. But you're looking again through here. And the way that I like to do it is to focus on the shape, because the shape is actually doing something as well, right? So I look at the shape, I look at it for a little while, and then I go into being super focused on whatever the thought is, the thought or the thought form. And then you would focus, focus, focus. And then at one point you just close your eyes and let go, right? So I guess if you're using it for another person, you know, say they don't feel good about themselves, or they have stress, or, you know, especially about something specific. I mean, usually I would guide somebody through it, but I guess you could, I mean, in theory, it should work. You would think of that for them and look at them like so. Like, look at the camera and let's just do a little experiment, Priya.
Yeah. So I've got an Ankh.
No, I'm doing it to you. I'm trying to see if this works for another person.
Oh,
So
okay.
just kind of look at me for a second, and then we're doing an active experiment. Can you feel something happening?
I can always feel energy when I work with you.
I think that works on another person. So like hold it up and like look at them, but then also, you don't have like we don't have to do it like intellectually. Like you don't need to go, they think this or they think that or they should be thinking this. Like you don't have to do any of that. It's a lot like how we do some of the oil practices or the Dorje practice where you just like focus on the person, and basically what's happening is you're projecting light. Like not necessarily colored energy, but just like a lot of white light. And so you would just sit and focus on the person, but what is happening is it's not necessarily physical healing, but like when you're looking through that aspect, um, you're breaking down thought forms, and thought forms that don't have light in them. Right now, the thing with the Ankh is this right here, this aspect is uh symbolizes the soul. So when you're sitting there looking at it, you look at the shape. Just looking at the shape activates the blue pearl, like the mental permanent seed in the brain. And so then when you start looking through it, right, you're basically projecting the light that comes in, just like when you activate the blue pearl in your head, for one, it starts to activate, but at some point light starts to enter and passes through the blue pearl into your body. This is like a manual way of doing that. You look at the symbol and then you just um stay focused. Yeah.
So the question is, if
Mhm.
I'm doing a healing on somebody who I have never met, I just know their name. So I
Doesn't-
could,
yeah,
I
doesn't.
could, it won't work.
No, it doesn't matter that you don't know them. Like you don't have to know the details, or you don't have to go like, well, I need to visualize like the positive side of them, or if you just focus on them, that's where the light goes. It's almost like wherever you look, you're projecting light. Like whenever I've worked with an Ankh, except for like, just like blessing or anything, I use it to like clear my field, like the Auric program, or to project light into projects. Like when I would go, okay, I want to manifest, XYZ, and then I would use it like that. I have used it to go through and like if I've had like a repetitive thought or something where I'm just like, ugh, really? Like I can't get rid of this, I'll inhale oils and then kind of be still, and then I'll use the Ankh and I'll work that, and then I come back and do the oils. And so, I'd like to like kind of mix it up a little bit because sometimes these things can be so complex that coming at it from a lot of different areas or um, just coming at it differently is just different ways of breaking it up. But a lot of times in meditation, I'll sit and visualize even just an egg, like, like a chicken egg. Um, I'll sit and just visualize the egg because part of your mind evolving, or part of your mind like breaking out of its repetitive thing, and alchemy is symbolized by the bird breaking out of the egg, right? So you if you notice, like you'll be sitting there and you'll be going, oh, I have this perception, I have this thing, I have, whatever it is. And you can almost feel the repetition happening. And then if you sit there, you just kind of watch it, you can almost feel like there's like an expansion or like a breaking out of that repetition. And you
Mhm.
have like a deeper perspective.
Mhm.
And in alchemy, that is symbolized as like breaking out of the egg. If you look at it like energetic mechanics, how that is happening is the stimulation of the blue pearl, which is the little seed inside the pineal gland, is breaking down thoughts to then like pierce through like a thought pattern that's repetitive, and you're bringing in like spontaneous thinking, which means like you'll have a new thought, and yes, it will start repeating again, but it will be more positive. I mean, that's kind of the idea even with mantras, is you keep doing the same thing over and over again, and you're trying to displace the negative thoughts that might be in the mind. So like that teacher, the hugging saint, the one that you go up and you get the hug, and I can't remember. She doesn't look in your eyes, right? She does a thing in your ear where she goes, whatever she says. And part of what she'll do sometimes is she'll say, if you want a mantra, she'll empower the mantra, and the explanation is you're to chant the mantra like one full mala, like you're to chant the mantra 108 times every day. And her explanation is to replace your negative thoughts with something positive, even if it's just for that short time in the day. And
Mhm.
eventually you start shifting the mind out of that negative thinking by utilizing the mantra over and over again. At first it might only last for 15 minutes, but then after a while it might last for a couple hours. And then eventually the idea is that that thought process just floats away. But part of the issue sometimes is that we have old conditioning, we have things that have happened to us, it's amplified by things like trauma and things like that. But even deeper is sometimes we have karmic imagery. And so the karmic imagery is these little pieces of energetic information that's in the blood that flows through the body and then triggers responses in your physiology, triggers responses in the emotions, and triggers thought processes in the mind. And so, the this is what's tied to the directions. Like when you work the directions, you're actually treating the aspects, those reactions in your body, your emotions in your mind, to the karmic imagery. And so like a deeper practice is like the thing that where we do with the dynamics of the aura, the soul guidance aspect of the third part of the aura in the auric series, is you're working the karmic imagery to basically bring your mind back to your truer nature, not your conditioned self. Like
Mhm.
you're kind of stepping away from all the water under the bridge in the conditioning through the years, which is more the intellectual mind, and you kind of bridge that gap into the intuition mind, and they both are working together. But in that aspect, it is literally about either breaking down the karmic imagery or learning how to react to the imagery, that it stimulates growth rather than causes you to suffer, right?
Mhm.
And so even that idea of holding the ankh and looking through the egg-shaped part that is tied to that. That's part of the practice with an ankh. I don't
So,
think we've covered that in the mystical practice, have we?
mm-mm.
Yeah, I think I've just given instruction to people one-on-one on that one. We'll eventually do it in the mystical practice, but uh yeah, we just haven't gotten there yet.
So two questions with this. I'm working on a painting. Can I show you quickly?
Sure.
It's called As Above, So Below.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you. So if I was to bless this with an Ankh, just point it to the painting.
Yeah, just look at the
Just
painting. Yeah, but through
hold
the
it.
like look through the egg.
Okay. Okay.
Like look at the painting and just and then close your eyes and relax and then like do it a few times.
And so if I was to work on my 4 quadrants, then I would point it to the earth and
Correct.
take my awareness to the 4 sides. Yep. Okay.
Right.
No,
And always hold it in your right hand.
yeah. Thank you.
You're
Thank you
so
for
welcome.
that.